Well, I know Henry's certainly been putting in the hours on this map. Thank you so much, gentlemen. It's time for us to jump in. They don't have the weapons that it suggests
No, they
do.
certainly don't. This is the pistol round. It will be G2 on the T side and heading towards A. Now, this is the new version of the map. A lot of teams were focused towards the A bomb site and the older iterations. I'm interested to see if that trend continues here. You can see the gap in the wall, of course. That's going to be a very influential part of the map. I can't tell you what grenades they have right now. I simply don't know. So we're going to go and learn together what they have.
Let's find out together. It does look like they're going to be going for that three-man jump on towards Crane. He can do so without the line of sight from that boost spot that Carrigan finds himself in. The smoke comes in, and Rops is actually on the dankest of flanks. If Carrigan can keep up a bit of resistance, Rops can start to push where it hurts. Nice work. Carrigan's doing a great job in surviving. Kenny, however, keeps things level. In fact, now the lead in favor of the French Frozen's looking to change it. Swings in, doesn't connect the shot into the next dome, but still breathing, still kicking. And now just 2 versus 1. It's Rops with the element of surprise. He can stop that plant if they choose to go for it. But instead, the bomb's on its way towards B. They're playing this oh so well. Shocks towards Elevator, trying to keep him contained.
Yeah, over towards B they go. The bomb will be planted, and it's going to be now a very difficult task for Robs to get himself back into this one. He has found himself a kit, however, but he's got so many obstacles to overcome here. He's heading towards the CT spawn position. Now, surely he's going to get the kill here. One of them will, and it will be G2 bouncing back after losing the first couple of frags there. It's Shoxy, Kenny S getting it done in the first run of Vertigo. Now, Alex, this is uncharted territory for this level of the game.
Yeah.
This version of the map, we haven't really seen it at a major, at least in terms of this version. So it's exciting to see what kind of tricks will be brought out. We know there's lots of set piece potential on there. That new ladder room towards middle has a lot of opportunities for smokes, flashbangs towards both sides. It's going to be very exciting to see what they can do.
Yeah, as of course we were corrected by the desk earlier as well. There was a game that we weren't able to see due to casting this very series on your screens, but Tai Lu and Complexity played Vertigo earlier.
Didn't sound like the best game though. It was a 16-2 affair.
So this is an opportunity to truly see what happens when homework's been done and that player break coming into the major. A new change to Vertigo, though. I was speaking to Elige in Malta in this boot camp for the major, and I asked him about Vertigo. Now, of course, not sharing everything, but what he did say was that he thinks it's even more CT-sided than it was before.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's his understanding of the changes.
Yeah.
What are yours, though? I mean, we saw that the change to the B steps does seem to favor the CTs.
I think so. That we've been working with these smokes in our free time, right? You can smoke towards the B steps from CT spawn now. You can do an arc smoke that goes across the map, lands in the mouth of the entrance of the B lobby, meaning you can shut off the B entrance completely, have one player anchoring the B side of the map, right? Yeah. So that's a massive factor. So that does boost the CT's chances of focusing towards middle and A and pinstering towards A with the ladder access now available to the T's and CTs towards that area.
And there's also a smoke available from that ladder room that has been created in the new iteration of Vertigo. You can smoke that hole in the wall from there. Yep. It's something that our boy Sponge has been hooking us up with in our matchmaking games. But yes, so many more opportunities for that utility usage that Matt was talking about on the desk.
I want to see how the T sides will operate towards middle as well. There are plenty of options. You can Molotov towards the toolbox from the lobby of middle, and obviously with the ladder entrance as well now, you can really fend off any CT aggressive pushes on the T side. You normally need to see one player anchoring towards the ladder room at all times for the T4, so you can't let the CTs get in there at all. You need to be fast, get up there and lock that position down.
I was watching Stewie's stream on Vertigo as well, and he was making observations that you can pretty much beat any T to that B peak. If you've got an AWP, that's a free fight. Of course, utility usage definitely possible. You can flash them off that angle, but he was profiting far more often than not on that B site. Much more of a heavy lean for the numbers in favor of middle and A. Looks like the pause is going to be coming to its conclusion. I think it was a technical, though. I don't see players talking, and I don't see a team's logo on our screen.
Well, I think with the overlay issues we had, maybe we're just going to resolve that very quickly and make sure we actually know what guns they have. That is quite an important part of the game.
That's a good point you've just made. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that was a little bit troublesome to deal with in the first round, but I guess we're going to be dealing with it right now. So a slight technical pause. If you're just joining us, this is the third map of our winners game here, 2-0. One of these teams will be going through to the next stage. We had Train to kick things off. There was a 16-5 resounding victory for G2 on the pick of mousesports. That really set the tone for the series. It looked like G2 weren't going to miss a beat as they hit every single shot. Kenny S was on fire. Voxit was non-existent. Rops wasn't performing on one of his home maps. We thought we were done. The 2-0 would be locked in, and we thought Vertigo wouldn't happen. We switch over to Dust 2, Alex, and what happened there?
I mean, my goodness, it's an 11-round T-side from the French, and we're sitting there. I mean, I'm already putting on my jacket. I'm thinking about what I want for dinner. And then the T-side of mousesports occurs. Admittedly, I think it would be rude not to say, and the CT side of G2 happens, because there was certainly some flaws scores there. Dust 2 for Shocks, though, the man on your screens there. We got to see real embodiment and display of this new eagerness he talked about in his interview with HLTV.org. He's found a new lease of life and passion for the game of Counter-Strike that he's been playing for so many years, and it shows.
Well, that brings us right up to speed with the third map here. It's G2's on the T side. They've managed to win out on the pistol, focusing towards the A bomb side there. A contact play of sorts, walking at the A ramp until they did spot the first CT, then pounced on top of it. mousesports managed to get a couple of nice frags there. They actually had the advantage at one point, but Kenny S and Shocks, with 4 kills between them, managed to win out, and they sent the bomb towards B before Rops could do anything about it. We're now going to the second round, and we're seeing a force buy from mousesports come in. It will be Frozen and Carrigan with Deagle and Armor, Smokes and Flashbangs, and we'll see Chris J, Rops and Voxic yet to invest as G2 now ready to go. It looks like the pause has been cancelled. We're getting back into the action. 2 AKs on the T side and 3 MAC-10s. Suggests they'll be operating in a very fast manner here, Alex. Plenty of opportunities for rushes on this map. Middle is now very viable. If you know they haven't got an incendiary, you can actually really break that area apart.
So let's take a little look at how this one is going to be shaping up. Of course, it's a multi-level dimension. We're seeing a lot more fights on the lower side of the map as well, with the changes to Vertigo and that MAC-10 early contact for Amanek. The CTs, however, get a lot of control. With that smoke, they are now available to contest on ladder room. I say ladder room, that's where Shocks finds himself, and finds himself a frag. Voxic gone, Frozen's low, likely gonna be 2. No.
Wow.
That's an AK. He's gonna be able to get away with that one, hopefully get it into the hands of someone with some Kevlar and some more health. It's gonna be Rops looking for the delivery.
That CT push towards middle is gonna be very prevalent as well. You can win a lot of eco rounds with just that push towards middle. You can segregate Ts with nice utility usage, and you can see the AK-47 now in the hands of Rops as G2 make their way back towards the A side here. 3 MAC-10s, 1 AK-47. They've got control of the ramp. You can boost each other up from that sandbag if you'd like to. They're going to focus is getting up the ramp. They feel comfortable with the control they have right now. Carrigan jumping up on the Goblin box there, not going to work out for him. And now they can sit back and wait. They don't have to rush the plant here. They can see the reactions before they make their next move.
Oh, but that's a great connection from Rops. Catches Jax down to 3. The older iteration of Vertigo was a lot more contact through that wall, but with the gap, it's much more of a risk.
Yeah, it's a nice smoke there thrown towards the elevator room. Advantage G2. Lucky's just going to confirm that there's no one close range towards the bomb site. It's Rops is waiting towards the lobby here as the plant will come in momentarily. There are plenty of nice plant options where Kenny's standing right now. That's a nice open plant. You can also come on the left-hand side of the bomb site there and defend the bomb from the scaffolding position. He certainly did get 2. 20 seconds remaining. Kenny S and Lucky, do they continue towards A? Are they going to push all the way towards B? They're confirming the site's clear. The bomb will go down, but Frozen and his dastardly Deagle coming up from the A ramp. Can he find yet another headshot?
They're using him as somewhat of a bait, gets the shots, tags up Lucky,
way.
And now with backs turned and damage done, he has a chance. It's Chris J. Oh, Kenny's seen him. That should be the end of it. He had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything he ever wanted. Why not? Let's finish it.
Yeah, do the whole thing.
Yeah. But still, that's a quick 2 for G2. And that CT aggression towards middle is something I want to keep an eye out on. You've mentioned we're going to see a lot of it, and I think it's going to be the protocols by which both teams handle it. That's something I want to keep my eye open for.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of middle myself, just trying to understand the map, and it seems that the CTs, just with 1 incendiary and then a follow-up smoke can really contain that entire area. You can send 2 people at the start, but you can hold it by yourself if you require, and we'll see what kind of buy we have here. Full eco, as expected. For mousesports, 1 Deagle for Rops, a little bit more money into his teammates, and they'll see if they can cause any sort of damage here. G2 don't have to enter any choke points, just work together, presumably towards A. It's the most open part of the map. You'll see this boost a lot. Might not want to use it on the full eco rounds. It's a very powerful one. You only need 2 players to boost. Originally you needed 3 on this map. Now you can do that same boost with just the 2 players and have the same vision.
It's having a bit of a conversation as well. You can see that mousesports just trying to see if they can catch anyone off guard.
So this should be a pre-5. You play a lot of Vertigo. This is a very common boost. You should be checking it out. If they overlook
Kenny,
it,
right?
Yeah.
You can do it from Cascaf, yeah, and that's exactly what he's pre-aiming. Oh, yep, you can see his head. Unfortunately for him, it's obscured a little bit. Now he'll have an opportunity to get some more information.
He spotted him. I think Kenny's looking at that with conviction right now. So he will spot the first. So they are keen Vertigo players, it seems. The pounce comes in from the CTs. It was looking a little bit troublesome for G2 at one stage, but it looks like it's all under control right now. USPs will find 1 kill with a 4-man A stack, and now just Rops. I dare say he probably gets a kill there. Oh, not quite lucky. We'll finish this off. 3-0 on the T side. Clean start for G2.
Clean start, but Resistance about to get a whole lot harder. mousesports on the buy. Voxic, he has an opportunity to take the AWP. He would have to sacrifice his armor, though. He's got a spawn for middle. He chooses it. He's going for it, and he gets the Kev as well. Bad maths from Machine.
Here we go, then. So where does he want to take this AWP? You can sit toolbox, you go towards B window as well. From middle, you can jump from middle towards the
You can take a fast peek fork if you wanted to help on A, and that actually looks like where he's going to be going. Does he choose to go fast? He can go through the gap, strafe over to Crane and take that line of sight. Doesn't seem like you're actually getting to see that just yet. Excuse me, I'm casting off the wrong screen, but lucky towards the B steps. Rops, he was there with the Deagle, now there with the M4. Frozen gets his toes a little warm and taking that mid control with a deep smoke.
All comes to a bit of a standstill here. I'm so interested to see how these two teams operate on this particular map. Frozen has been tagged up. The wallbang attempts here from Shoxy. He finds himself in hot water here. He's in that ladder room, like we described. T's should be there every single round. You cannot let that area be run over by the CTs. That's the smoke we're discussing as well. That's thrown at the mid stages, but you can throw that from CT spawn to block off any sort of T access towards B. All comes to a bit of a standstill here. Advantage somewhat for G2 with the damage inflicted towards Frozen. They have no kits, barely any utility remaining. Jax will be throwing a lovely little smoke there.
Remember that one.
Towards the A side, just to block off any vision from that broken wall position. Molotov towards the sandbags. Can be a spot that catches you off guard if you don't have the Molotov. And up they go, just playing contact towards A. Frozen boosted up.
Yeah, is someone going to be baiting for Frozen? It's Woxic holding the line from snipers. A predictable angle, but powerful one. And here comes the execute. They want to commit towards A. They're going to send in the MAC-10 first. Amanek, the scout. He's going to be bouncing around, looking for all the information he can gather. Frozen, he's going to have to reveal his location. He can't wait any longer. Gets the one with 16 HP. That's not bad. And Rox is doing all the rest of the heavy lifting. Double kill. Escaping through the smoke, or perhaps not. What on earth is going on? He saw him, but Rox still breathing, still kicking. Catches Woxic. That's big from Lucky. 9 bullets in the mag. He's going to be alone now, and not enough to catch him. That's a big one from Mouse as they do find their first.
It was looking pretty good for G2 at one moment there, but then the boost position from Frozen chucked a spanner in the works and then some. That's such a prime spot when you're low HP as well, because it's so difficult to spot where you are. It's not a pre-fire. You have to really commit before you can even swing out and find him. They go through the hole in the wall, and at that stage, he's ready to get that one frag. Everyone's throwing their crosshair up to that position, and his teammates can find the follow-up frags.
I've decided hole in the wall is too many syllables.
I know.
How do you feel about gap?
We'll just call it gap.
I like it.
Is that a gap?
You can call it gap.
Is it gap?
Is it a gap?
I don't know.
No.
I need.
It's not a window. It's definitely not a window.
It's a board. It's open.
It's open and people can jump in it. It's a rectangle. It's a.
We'll come back.
There's a girder there.
Yeah.
Let's think. Let us know. Hit us up on social media if you've got a good idea, because hole in the wall. We've been saying that in our games as well.
Yeah.
We probably could come up with something a little snappier.
You just say hole.
Hole. Yeah, but I know I like wordplay, and I don't want hole in my vocab.
That's probably fair.
Yeah. Let's see, though. We do have the AK-47s for 2 members of the French squad, Krieg and another AK lying on the battlefield. They'll be picking them up. And so they invest fully into this one, looking to respond to mousesports first.
We could just call it a hole.
Nice one, man. Yeah. No, you're an innovator, clearly. Never were the ideas, man, were you?
No, man, I think that's solid.
Rob's holding that rather aggressive TP. Can go and have a look towards catwalk at a risk of your own life. Excuse me. Nice pick onto Shox. That's Chris J. The B defense. It's Rops and Chris. And Molly catches Lucky. He's actually going to be forced to use a smoke for that one to get out. Play around it. Nice from Rops, but he does have to sacrifice his life in pursuit of information.
You can see how powerful that one smoke is. There's no backup from your teammates there. You're locked in toward that B steps position. This is very good from mousesports there. They seem to have a firm understanding as well on how to operate here. Frozen taking control of the ladder room. You can see what a prime position that is. That's why you don't want to let the CTs in towards that spot. 4 versus 1. Amanek with a Krieg, a smoke, and not much else. Starting to slow down. G2 lose 2 in a row. Presumably Eco into the following round as well. Voxic, AWP. Patrolling towards B, and it will be the Incendiary that doesn't quite catch Amanek, but he will sit back and wait with 30 seconds on the clock, seeing if he can take anyone down with him.
They go down kicking and screaming, but nothing to scream about. Quick second for Mouse. Well handled.
Well then, like we said, full eco now for the T's. They do have a buy next round. It's one of those ones you don't really want to invest anything here. Your money's still going to be quite tight, but there's enough to buy into the following one.
Frozen's position there was so deep, but so powerful. You could probably hit all of those steps underneath you as well.
Yeah, I like that play from Chris J as well. He knows he's got the AK-47. He's willing to take the duels, or he's going to have the advantage. They're going to have to come up and face check him, and he knows he can do a lot of damage here. And Voxic, the aggressive push. You see that smoke now? The follow-up HE as well, going for control of the ladder room again. It'll be Frozen is trying to get in towards that position. I will keep track of his movement to see if he gets there. So he's going to be flashing in now.
You see that? They're all jumping on the bridge. They desperately want the call to be. They're all there.
Fell down the ladder, and he's got the bomb. That's insane. Did the incendiary just legit land down the ladder and didn't go off? He still gets that frag. I can't believe it. And now he's got the bomb, 2 kills. Frozen is getting into 5th gear.
That's lovely stuff from Frozen. Seems like he's going to try and make this his home. It's a whole new take on the pop dog angles. Breathe this one in, see how they handle it. The Molotov this time will find the floor, and Kenny forced to back away. Lucky in the meantime has gathered some ground on A, but he's got so much to clear. This corner that Carrigan's holding, it's almost a guaranteed frag, and lives up to that guarantee. Oh, Chris wasn't ready for that. Did get dinked by the Glock twice, so low. Finished off eventually. And now Kenny finds another. Frozen swinging that low HP that Amanek managed to create. Now creates a 2 players standing with rifles, no armor of course.
How about for the whole area? We call it shelf.
Shelf.
That's good, right?
You've done well there.
That's all right, isn't it?
Well, it's better than A-hole.
I don't know. I think we'll keep that on the maybe pile. But for now, it will be Kenny, who has actually got a slight chance of doing some of this. We'll call it shelf for this game. See how it feels.
Let's see how it feels. Let's take it for a spin.
Yeah.
Try it on.
Looks like he's in prime position to close things out here. Nice sends, as you can see, rattling through the body of Kenny S. And it will be 3-3 as money starts to stabilize for the French. We go into round number 7 now. All for Voxic. I'd like to see if he stays dynamic. He's going to keep pushing around the map and being a nuisance. Frozen certainly is. You can see they've got the set piece. They've got the nice smokes to go deep towards the T entrance. They're molotoving towards the ladder and flashing, trying to get him in there, make it overwhelming for any T's on the other side. Odds coming through now.
Ooh,
3rd and final map. And you can see the favourites now, Mousesports here on the 3rd. They picked Vertigo, I suppose, and they look like they're very proficient on them. Yeah, I mean, at GG.bet, the odds are continually shifting, because I saw Dust 2 and it was heavily in favour of the French after their first half, understandably so. Yeah, it was like 7-1.
Yeah, I mean, they were 6 rounds away from the legend stage, to put it bluntly.
Indeed, he'll take a tactical timeout at this stage. And does Kenny have the potential for an AWP? He doesn't. He can get AK armor at the very most. He's got $3,700, so just on the nose to even get that out.
And he's the highest fragger. He's found his form to start things off. 8 frags in just the 6 rounds of play. This bumps are in. Does look like the time has started, and we're ready to jump into round 7. Let's see how this one's handled then. AK and armor, as you predicted for Kenny. So let's see how they choose to approach this round. They're looking for the win, and it does look like more attention towards B will be paid. The bomb's on its way there, will be left towards spawn.
I'm going to keep my eye on the utility usage here, see if there's any creative stuff. Rops isn't messing about at all. This is ruthless.
That's so brazen.
Down. They've got 2 players towards the CT side of the steps. It's lucky to have the second player there. Oh, the damage exchange. They both go down to low. It's Rops at 20, Lucky 46. Bomb down. But now only 1 player towards B.
The angles are so interesting on these stairs. If you're not holding it actively, if you're not holding an aggressive angle from Rops' POV, he can walk under those stairs.
Yes.
He could walk through that smoke with no one seeing him.
Jax is done for here.
Nice.
You can see not every player exactly aware of all the possibilities. I don't think they would have played this a ton. But that's a pretty common spot for the CT. If you lost control of the ramp, they can get towards scaffolding. And you can smoke the A ramp as you get in towards the A side as well. You can bounce it off one of the girders at the back wall and actually get yourself in a really prime position. Now, this looks like an interesting boost. So they're just going to look towards middle with this.
Frozen could get his head chopped off here. They're going to go left and left. Frozen, if he keeps jiggling, he's going to meet his demise. And oof, just saved.
Not as pretty as usual, is it?
By the bell. Shots exchanged all nonetheless, and that smoke doesn't look ideal. Is it?
You can smoke both of those angles with 1 smoke. That's a nice shot from Amanek. But yeah, there's set smokes you can do that block off every angle. You don't even have to do a set smoke, to be honest. Either way, it's a 2 versus 2 box. It looks like he's in a prime position to get both of these players, which he certainly will. Strong performance over from Mousesports. I have to say, G2 look a little bit lost at times. But they're not aware of the potential pushes coming in. The boost they're doing looked very on the flight out. Didn't look premeditated at all, as they called that. Just in a situational moment. And at this point, they're 4-3 down. That's 4 rounds in a row for Mousesports, and potentially another Rico on the cards as well. As
you address discomfort, I remind you of the veto. G2, they picked us 2, of course, conceding it to an incredible 12-round T-side of Mouse, but it was G2 removing Inferno that left Mousesports with a choice between Nuke and Vertigo. They were the ones that brought us here.
Same smoke. Take away vision from the T lobby. Partial buy with the CZs, a couple of Desert Eagles here, 2 smokes. We know they've got nice set smokes on the G2 side. It seems like Jax throws the majority of those. They'll go towards A. They'll smoke towards Shelf and presumably on the site as well and try and get the bomb down. And you can boost up, like we said, on sandbags and get up there via the ramp. And you're ideally going to be pincering the site if you can.
Karrigan's definitely found the corner he likes. Here again, closing in close quarters, and this is actually a bit of a problem. They could get that bomb down as the Astralis plant. Easy to hold from construction.
Yes, indeed. That's the whole idea of it. If you can get that bomb down, you can now cover it from the A ramp.
Oh, and it's gone so perfectly. It didn't cost them much. Smoke, flashbang or two. And now the afterplant's starting to get a little tense. The CT, sure, they've got the weaponry, but they're going to have to get on that bomb. It can be contested from oh so far away. Shox, look at that position. He's playing for the time. Clock his best friend. You can see his backpack. His G2 branded backpack. And look at the angle. You can actually see the head of Karrigan. He's playing the weighing game. And Shoxy, he's living up to that Jesus title. Another push from Kenny. Where's Rops? Where's the bomb? He's on it now. Shox so looking for another one. Does get the shot. Has he got the time?
He's got it, I think.
It's so damn close. 0.01. He gets it. Woo.
That's insane. I thought Shoxy done enough there. He could have potentially just stayed alive. He gets 2 kills, comes down to the 1 versus 1, and he challenges Rops there. Can't quite hold his nerve. Thought he had enough time. Chad has used this spot a few times in our games. I was waiting for someone to really step up with it, and you can see how powerful that potentially can be. He gets the 2 kills. Still, that was a partial buy with 3 sets of Kevlar. 2 smokes. They get the bomb down. It comes to the 1 versus 1. They might not have won it, but they've certainly sabotaged the finances of the mousesports side as we get to round number 9 here. Orbs out for Kenny. Interested to see where he's going to be operating with it. Going towards the A ramp, looking for that initial threat, and I think he's got a challenger. He spotted one towards construction there. I saw him cross on his screen. So is he aware?
Shox slashed off in ladder room.
Is Voxic is in scaffolding right now, just to know, with the orb.
That's quite the aggressive orbing angle. The flash makes it clear where he is. Looking to Scarpa. The smoke will aid his escape. And for now, no bloodshed in round 9.
Yeah, he gets back towards the A site and to the safety of the bomb site itself. Looking towards scaffolding, he can spot players crossing over, as Lucky will be working towards B. You can see them using the smoke, the one we described before, blocking any sort of access from the T's and get full control of the steps at this point. You can leave 1 player there to anchor it once he's got control of the lobby. Flash down, you can actually drop from the right-hand side as well if required. You can see Rob's just making sure everything's clear and they've got full control now. One of these players ideally wants to fall back.
Yeah.
There's so many strong angles you can hold there as a single player.
Now, Kenny's looking for the boost, but he could swing into Karrigan and pick that frag up. Oh, that's an uncharacteristic miss. And Karrigan's given the warning to back away. Exchange of utility, pulls it out. No loss for the side of G2 though. Really enjoying watching the way Chris and Rops have started to communicate about this mid-B.
Rops has got such a prime position there. This is such a wild one because you can't really check this from middle unless you fully commit and you're looking to get up there yourself.
Shox out there. Backs turn, close, backs up, Shox can't convert.
Oh, that was worth 2.
Chris just going to be tested here. He's actually in a lot of trouble. He's in some hot water. Fortunately, Frozen's found Shox inside the map, but the main body of the assault is coming towards B, but Woxic supporting. Nice. And mousesports, no sweat. 4 still standing, and that will be the 6th.
That's well recovered there. I thought Rops' position was enough to win it single-handedly. You could see how confusing that was with the T's. As soon as he starts appearing from that position, they have no idea because they can't see him. He's on the ledge towards B. He swings out, finds the first. I feel like he should have got the second by his standards, but overall, still well held. Chris J, solid as a rock towards the B site. The B site as ever. And he gets the 1 kill, hides, turtles up, and Voxic is there to catch anyone crossing over towards that side. So a tactical pause from G2, and we go 6-3. 6 rounds in a row, just a note, from mousesports. It's the reason they wanted to play this, but looks things.
Certainly seems that way. The pistol success from G2 short-lived, converted into 3, and yet to get off that mark. Not going to be seeing the buy come in. Let's see that one again. You say it's good for 2. He certainly felt like he had that one, but happy the win came his way nonetheless.
Yeah, he's had that up and down day here.
Oh, what a series. I mean, I'm thinking about Train. That feels like yesterday.
Yep.
Jesus.
Name smoke and a cheat sequence here. No initial smoke to speak of on the B side. They have got a nice Molotov to push the T's back. Round 10 here. G2 win the pistol. That's all they've really had to their name. Nothing really uncomfortable from mousesports since. Voxic, same incendiary to get control of the battle. Marks out for Shox towards B, but Chris J, like we said, solid towards this side of the map. He'll be bringing it back to a 4-on-4.
Mid-controller clear priority for mousesports.
Yeah, 2 players there, just to know every round.
Yeah.
So they're having 1 at A.
They leave Carrigan on his Goblin box.
Yeah, and then 2 towards middle, 2 at B. Just for the initial control, and they can move around depending on what happens.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Carrigan, he can get a lot of information quickly.
Yeah, no one's ever going to rush A. Sure, it's a great side to take, but you're always going to execute it, right? You're never going to walk in with nothing. So it is a reasonably safe bet that he anchors that by himself and just plays in a passive manner.
And the way that mousesports have been playing this B side is that Lucky, especially when he arrives late, he's got so much to play. He's just going to walk out his back out. Chris J pushed up deep, finds himself his 2nd kill.
Yeah. 2nd kill, and it's Jackson 1 HP, Amanek with 29. They have no smokes. Jax is trying to help himself towards the A side. Not going to work out for him. Voxic will drop into the floor, and the remaining 2 have 30 seconds remaining, and they're heading towards
He just
B.
rotated off. Chris J just started rotating straight towards A. He's going to slow it down, hits the wall key.
Is at the middle area, so he can jump up towards the window and backstab him when they go for the plant. We'll see if that comes through, but they've made noise now, so Chris J more than aware. He gets the first kill. That'll be the round itself. Did they even get a plant out of this? No, they do not. Frozen does pounce from middle, and it will be yet another successful round there for mousesports as they continue their grind here. 7 in a row.
I mean, perhaps Alicia's prophecy of CT sides is a conversation we'll continue to have. Of course, it depends what G2 bring to their defense.
I think we just need to see a proper execution here. We talked about the potential of that on this map. We haven't really seen it. We know they've got a few smokes within their arsenal, but it seems like more default smokes just to gain you access towards a certain area. We haven't seen like a 5-man commitment. We're getting ladder control, smoking towards the A side from there, getting everyone ready with the smokes towards shelf, and then Molotoving the key positions and going in together with flashbangs. That's how the map used to play out. I want to see more of that from G2 here as they buy up partially with MAC 10s and an AK-47, saving around $1,000 per player.
See if they can bank some funds with these MAC 10s then. 4 of them could flood in. Rops boosted up. There's such an aggressive hold from the CTs. It won't be tested just yet though. Rops will. Passes test number 1. It was Lucky who pushed through the Molotov in pursuit of an early frag. Well, now the frag's been found and another double up. Shox is there for the peak as well, but then now things could slow down. Frozen's looking to test the waters of window.
He seems like he's spotted Amanek.
Yeah, he's worked it out. Saw a shoulder.
Nice. Perfect. Well then, back to the 3-on-3. 2 successful picks from G2, but they haven't gained access to the site yet. Might have wanted to pounce on that considering they got the MAC 10s. Could have gone a lot quicker. They were hoping Amanek would find a bit of a wiggle room. And Kenny, yes, that's lovely. Catches Frozen, who's been playing that ladder room over and over again.
Jax is still not upgraded. There's an SG right on his toes. Finally, grabs it. And we'll try and get across to get that bomb down. It's worked out well for him. Swing comes out from Shox, and he does keep Woxic busy, but bomb goes down. Now 2 versus 2. Woxic and Carrigan. Carrigan's a little late to the party. Woxic training his aim on that one, and that's not bad, actually. Carrigan's nade catches Kenny. He knows where Jax is. The call come in from Woxic. 1 versus 1. Molotov to try and the process of elimination. He's played it perfectly. Carrigan, all of the utility in the world to piece that puzzle together.
Yeah, that's really smart from him. He threw that HE grenade as well, like a set HE to go towards a position. Really cool stuff. Manages to take down the first player, and then the incendiary as well to just eradicate risk. And you can focus on one channel of the B bomb, or the A bomb side. Sorry, and sorry, it was the B bomb side.
It's all right,
getting a little bit confused. It was the B bomb side. There's the HE, lovely stuff. And then, like I said, the incendiary just so he can focus on Jax here as he tries to wiggle around the smoke. Takes him down, no problem at all. Clean kill. And it's going to be 8 rounds in a row now as G2 will be able to buy up into this. Remember, that wasn't a full investment. They had 4 MAC 10s and an AK. Comes right down to the 1v1 short. That's the smoke I'm telling you about that goes towards A ramp, enables you to actually push towards scaffolding if you wish. But Carrigan's there by himself, right? He just wants to suggest there's more than one player there. Try and buy some time. And they're starting to read it now. They're kind of sensing that Carrigan is there alone.
And that's Kenny's aim directly on Carrigan. He goes for that information now. Hold down W and see if they can find themselves that 4th.
Good flashes. This is much more like it. I think on this map, just grouping up and going in together with basic utility is more than enough, especially towards A when they have one player there. They just needed to detect Carrigan was alone.
And now they just continue to twist that knife. Chris J's beheaded. Jax, that was a quick adjustment, caught Frozen. Eyes drawn straight to snipers. And G2 finally, after 8 rounds in a row from mousesports CT side, they find a way in, and it's A. Carrigan going down early. I don't know how much that's started that snowball effect.
I think someone just realized in that interim round where they had the Mac 10s, it's like, there's 2 middle every single time. There's 2 towards B. Why are we not trying towards A? It's the most common bomb site. Why are we kind of staying away from it? We're just running these deep balls. We're losing picks all over the place towards B primarily, and we're losing that ladder room control each and every time. So this makes a lot of sense as to why they made that play. Rops trying to push through the smoke here. Doesn't feel exactly comfortable this stage. He gives up his position by throwing the incendiary, and now they'll be hunting him. As he sits towards spawn, looks like he will be going down regardless. He'll get him with the wall bang, and it will be the first round after losing 8 in a row for G2 that they arrive, and they'll bring the scoreline to 8-4. It's not too bad overall considering they won the pistol and got the conversion. We need more of that where it came from.
He gets 3 in this round. The first 2 perhaps a little messy. The third a gorgeous cherry on top.
Yeah.
And immediately in response, mousesports, after winning 8 rounds in a row, they lose 1. Makes no sense not to call a timeout at that point.
Well, they don't have enough for the AWP right now. Carrigan has 5,500, but Voxic's already invested in the M4 and Kevlar. With no nades, no kits, they are going to buy into this one. It suggests we'll have to see something a little bit more avant-garde from the CTs. Maybe an aggressive push somewhere, try and get that first pick, just try and maybe even send 3 players towards the A ramp now, considering they think Carrigan's alone. You do the same smoke with 3 players down there, that could be an idea. That's the kind of play you want to see with this sort of setup. You've got no utility, no AWP. For Mass and one of your players, you want to go for a quick pick and just change the pace of the game. Plenty of options to do so. Here are the frag leaders so far. We've got Robs on 15 kills, really stepping it up as this series goes on. A Train, he was non-existent, but really has warmed his way into it. Kenny S with 12. Seems to be quite proficient on Vertigo as well. He's getting to round number 13, a swing round. Now supposed to lose this. GT could be right back into it.
Certainly. Frozen, very aggressive take on middle. This has been his love child on the CT side of Vertigo. Chris actually quick to catch Lucky after making his presence known onto Robs.
That's such a cool smoke.
That Molotov didn't necessarily clear all of sandbags. I want to see that one again. If it did, it likely could have dripped in and covered all of that. Review it later. Carrigan, you'll never guess where he is.
Goblin box.
I think he's trying to make a case to call this corner Carrigan. Early days, but nice frag. Catches shocks on the cross. All members of G2 here. And the beauty of Vertigo is that flank is always something you have to be worried about. Nice work from Carrigan. Jaxie steps right into the crosshair.
Disappointing finish here from G2. 1 by 1 into the position you know he's already at. You've got flashes, at least flash him first before you go for it.
And you can boost. I mean, wherever it is, you can throw your teammate up on that box, tags him up, but it's not enough. Kenny, quick on Carrigan. 1 versus 3 from the lead fragger for G2. Got a signature weapon, and the magic stick lives up to the name. It's looking great. Frozen on the dankest of flanks. Well, but hang on a second, Kenny, he's too smart for this one. He's got the bomb, and he realizes with all the information available to him, there's no way Frozen's not going to be behind or in close pursuit.
This is such a huge round. If Kenny wins this one, with a 1 versus 3 as well, not only does it break the back of mousesports financially, they'll be in such good state going forward as well. There'll be only 2 rounds left. mousesports will have to take a tactical timeout and work out the next approach. For now, Frozen has to jump over towards the mid window. And at this stage, Kenny knows exactly where he is. He knows he's got the advantage here.
He has to jiggle, has to force Kenny to pull the trigger too soon, and does it. That's step 1 for Frozen, and now on towards the bomb, trying to bait Kenny into trying to charge him out. Check out it, and he's done it. 1 versus 3. Kenny S. AWP for every frag. He's done it with 4 in the round.
Now there is one important note there as well. You see the cables coming out of the defuse there? Kenny could spot when he actually was committing to full defuse there, so he had to swing, he had to go for that one. CSGO has been the only iteration of Counter-Strike that's had that. Before, when he defused the bomb, there was no cables coming out, but he could see them from behind the box, so you know he has to fully commit to that. But what a round this was. He gets himself towards the elevator room. Voxy didn't see it coming. He hightails it towards the B bomb site, nails the shot, and Frozen thought he had the full defuse there. He's not happy about it. Coach trying to calm him down, and we said that was a huge round because he knows the implication now. Because they've lost that, they have to take an eco, and they'll have to play for round number 15.
Henry, that could really help close this gap coming into that second half. That heroic round from Kenny S. That's going to have implications for the rest of the half. G2 poised to seal the deal, at least here in the next one. Nothing for the CTs to muster. mousesports, they certainly are fired up, aren't they? I mean, like, I'm seeing not only Frozen's investment when he loses, but also in victory as well.
Absolutely.
Starting to believe that they can.
Mac 10 for Amanek. That's the perfect call if they are going to remain on this eco stance. mousesports just don't have the funds to do much more than P250, CZs, etc. They'll have to play for round number 15. This was looking so good for them, but G2 might find the 8-7 after all this. No grenades, We'll stack towards the middle perhaps. We didn't see any mid boost at all. And this box towards the left. Frozen right now, but it will be Jax fending off Carrigan. Presumably towards the A side of the map. We'll see if Rops can pick up the pieces here. Probably not with just the USP, but they'll give it his best shot, that's for sure.
Amanek definitely seems to have somewhat of a love affair with the Mac-10, and actually that's so perfect. His smoke arrives as the CTs do. Information.
Not worth it, boys. Back up the ladder we go.
Yeah, never mind. They're just hoping to catch one or two.
This is the T-spawn area.
Take a little spin of this, and it's moved the Ts further back to change the pacing, and the arrival time gives the CTs more of a chance to set up. It's one of the many reasons why this is being described as somewhat of a CT-sided map, or increasing the CT side of it. Nice practice from Woxic doing the KZ server.
He's got a smile on his face for it. Well then, at this point, only Amanek can really justify hunting them.
Yeah.
Giving it a Mac-10 is probably beneficial at this point. Don't really want that for the final round. He's going to get rid of it whatever happens. And if he can get some extra cash, that's great. They're not exactly going to need it at this point. But every little helps, you know. And he gets it. He can throw away the Mac-10 now if he wants to.
Off the side of the map, I imagine.
Do not want that for this round. He's got 7k here. He goes to the Krieg. Final round. 8-6. G2. Look like they are out of this after the pistol victory. They were 8-3 down. And now it's 8-6, looking to take control against the MP9 of Frozen. No war for Woxic. They do have the utility they need, but once again, it's one of those rounds you might see something a little bit more aggressive from the CTs, knowing they have to get an opening kill. Maybe they go for a push towards B. We haven't seen that CT spawn smoke from them at all, so they're not using that.
No, but they're doing it a much different way. They're actually choosing to throw the smoke late, and then lock in and double peek the Ts that chose to extend.
Two players there at the start. If you had to anchor that side of the map, I would have liked to see more variations of setups here, but it's very early days, and this iteration of Vertigo, I'm sure, will develop as time goes on. G2 focusing towards A once again. This one looks to be a little bit more beneficial. Carrigan in the same position, the same smoke. Surely they know he's there by now. Yeah, they're going to solve this mystery for sure, but he can actually back away, force that sightline into Woxic. Catching shocks. Jax is in trouble as well. Where are those bullets coming from? Down to 30. Carrigan can finish what his teammates have started. The Molotov doesn't actually cause any issues for Carrigan. He can continue to hold that line. Jax might walk into it. Already Penny's gone. Nice trade. Important trade as Amanek keeps things level. Frozen's working on the flank. You can see him crawling down that ladder. Yeah, with the MP9, it's not ideal, especially another one with the overall landscape of this round. He'll be coming towards that A ramp any second now, I assume. As now Chris J. Frozen detected, gives up his position, but he has got a 2 versus 1. No kit available, but now has an AK-47. Flashbang on his utility belt as the bomb's planted. Amanek. He questions it. Oh, that gives Chris J so much more room to maneuver. Lucky is going to be there to try and get the information of Amanek as he recedes. It's suddenly 2-1 versus 1. It's the dream clutch scenario, and so close. Yet so far, the half's 8-7. What a recovery from G2 after that one. We're going to go ahead and take a break, but when we come back, the second half of our third map, the winner is off to the Legend stage. Join us when we return.
8-7 on the half. It was G2 who were up against the ropes, but heroism from Kenny S ignited 4 back-to-back to keep the half level. 8-7. It's Vertigo. The winner is off to the Legends stage, and heated discussions transpiring as they realize the next half of Counter-Strike could be the make or break moment.
This is it. Both of these teams currently 2-0. The winner of this half and this map will be going on to the next stage of the tournament and get a few days off as well, just to really hone their craft and work out what the problems are. These are not perfect teams by any stretch. G2 have had a great showing, but obviously some great leads thrown away on Dust2, for example. There's still plenty of things to work on. 5 sets of armor for mousesports here, and an A rush looking very likely. They're not slowing down at all, as Amanek won't even have a chance to throw his smoke. He's got his battle with the CZ, misses his first chance, drops the smoke, trying to buy time desperately here.
Yeah, I don't know what I can do with this one. The CZ close. It's a dream scenario. Only the first. He dips away in the flash.
Oh,
he manages to try and get a fresh mag. It's not going to be enough. Frozen, though, does batter him with his Glock, but Jack's looking to keep attention on him. Nice work. Finds the head of Woxic. Now the numbers don't favor Mouse. And Rops changes that. Nice work from him as he crawls through middle. And with backs turned, Rops is doubled up. Finds Lucky. Just one man remains at Shox. He's been so damn good. This map, relatively mediocre. Let's see if he can find himself as double digits. At least he's looking for that 1 versus 1. Frozen might give it to him if he slides into his crosshair. Yep, there's a chance and a tag. Rops backing away from this plant. There's so many opportunities given to Shox, but the bullets aren't landing, and now mousesports, they will be able to close that one out. Rops, all Rops with that one. He found them a way back in after some fantastic start from G2.
This is a really hype game now. It's going to be a lot of fun. It will be Rops to close things out there with 3-piece as he works that Glock to magnificent effect. We have got G2, presumably the eco in the second round. I wouldn't want to see a force buy here with Deagles. Let's get the guns out next round and see what can be done, as mousesports will be bringing out 2 AKs, 2 Galils, and 1 MP5 in the hands of Frozen here. So nothing really invested apart from a flashbang from G2, and they'll be focusing their efforts towards A. So maybe a boost. Actually, it's going to hold up toward the elevator room, and it looks like mousesports might be heading this direction. At least they'll hold a default for now. They're not going to overcommit.
Here's an interesting conversation to have while these USPs try and do something. The sound cues. I just saw Amanek quickly, as fast as he could, get to that corner to see if he could get the numbers on the steps on that bridge. You really can hear everything from everywhere. You've been playing a lot of mid. I mean, you can get a lot of info.
If you've got decent headphones, which I know some of you struggle with, you can work out. As long as you can handle the verticality of the map and you've got a decent headset, you can work out and get a lot of information from footsteps people aren't even aware they're making.
Yeah, I mean, the rotates especially. Yeah. There is almost a necessity. You have to start making noise for some of these rotates, these surprise changes, and therefore perk your ears up. Oh, they could have boosted over that. Oh, it's a 5-man flash push. That flash, how far are they going to get them? The answer's nowhere.
It was a nice try. I'll give them that. It was looking pretty tasty at one point. The flash is spot on. There was 2 players there. 5 of them come through the smoke, but they come out with a grey screen, remember. And there was the safety of the toolbox to provide a little bit of cover there. And overall, it will be double digits first for mousesports, and G2 able to buy in round number 18 here. We get into it. The buys coming through, no AWPs yet for rifles on the G2 side. Lucky will join them with the M4, but you can see they'll be purchasing an AccuS because they've actually got no defuse kits, no AWPs, or 1 incendiary. It's not the most ideal setup as Rops focuses his efforts towards middle. That's the incendiary I was talking about. That's different ways to play this. You're anchoring by yourself. You want to be incendiaring that every single time, just so they can't rush you.
Helps you set up. Chris playing around this smoke.
And that's as good as he gets as well. That window looks like it's a prime opportunity to throw bits of utility through it, but it's layered. The smokes actually don't make it through unless you do very specific lineups.
Carrigan, he's got the lineup for that sandbag Molotov. Just trying to keep attention on A. Jax, he does get the 1 on that mid hold, but Shox is there to fill the void. Sick with that trade now.
This is nice work from Shox to get in this corner.
And he's managed to profit from it. Frag for Shox, frag for Jax. As the dust settles, it's 4 versus 3. That could change quite quickly, though, because they are starting to make a beeline for B. Rather appropriately. Smoke will land down the 1 channel. That Lucky could perhaps do huge damage. How is he not dead? Carrigan perhaps forced off by the flash as well. It caught Lucky, perhaps it caught them both. Now the bomb's not got to go down. Carrigan's going to be doing that. Frozen desperately trying to keep his teammates safe. The gap has been closed somewhat by Shox on that smoke.
Chance to breathe. Carrigan gets an M4. They have no utility remaining. And 3 kills to find. There's a flank coming in. Amanek. He's going to get 1. That's a horrible little angle. And it will be Carrigan now to fend them off. He manages to get the second. He knows exactly where Amanek is.
Now he can just dance around this box. Play for the info. Amanek, every step you make. Every step you can play around it. Look at this. It's a gorgeous dance. Back and forth he goes. He's running the clock down. Amanek does eventually overcome the odds.
Oh, he hasn't got it.
He hasn't got it. No kit. No worries. Carrigan's played it to perfection. What a hero play from him. The leader finds himself another round.
Oh, that was quite beautiful. It was quite the elegant dance there. Both of them at the quad position knew exactly where each other were, and Carrigan can only win that down to the fact he bought so much time. He didn't really have any resources available to him, no utility. They knew exactly where he was. He just had to try and stay alive and buy enough time for the defuse not to be a possibility. It works out fantastically well. G2 saving AK-47, but the money's just not there to back it up. A couple of deagles, CZ, that's about it. They do have a residual smoke and incendiary from the previous round.
You talked about it, didn't you? Carrigan, he's always finding the clutches when he has to.
Just when his team needs it.
I mean, it's the third map of a best of three. It's the T side of Vertigo, and you've managed to stop and defend that bomb plant.
And it's led them to an eco as well, G2 that is. So this is massive as Carrigan looks to continue. He will spot the AK,
nice.
But it gets a wallbang kill. That's very nice indeed. A couple of dinks there.
That saved AK could come on to pay huge dividends. Look at this. He's tacking them all up.
They've got a bit of an A stack here. This could be problematic for mousesports, but the incendiaries, Molotovs, all that, this is looking very good indeed. That's going to push the CTs back. They're holding towards the elevators right now. No real damage done for mousesports just yet, but they are getting control as the seconds roll by.
In the meantime, Rop's going to be making sure he does his due diligence through mid, clear it out, ensure no CTs can arrive from behind, certainly not from down that ladder. Of course, the long route through spawn still available to those CTs should they commit. Nice. Chris just on click of his mouse finds the head of Kenny. Back on snipers. This restraint from mousesports, is it?
They're waiting for opportunities at this point. They know they've got a huge advantage of protecting that rifle that's gone down. Just waiting for them to challenge. They know the CTs are going to have to face at one point. They can't let them plant. They won't be able to hold it off. As the time ticks away, G2 will play it themselves as they try and take challenges and getting picked off one by one by Chris J. He's got 3 kills, all of them to his name so far. Shoxy has been very good today at right, but he hasn't looked his best on Vertigo. Looking for a one-tap and doesn't look like it's going to happen. Looks like everything's under control for mousesports.
Yeah, thanks to Chris J especially. Huge work from him.
And they were very patient. They didn't panic there at all. That was a good observation, because had they just panicked and gone all in at that point, they run into Lion's Den of a 3-man stack waiting for them with CZ, and that could have fallen apart. They bided their time, waited for the opportunity and for the CTs to make mistakes. As Lucky will wait towards the sniper deck now. Not really much he can do with this. He's looking to get the rifle at the end of the round, I suppose, but they should have thrown that off the map.
And Robs wants him.
Oh, there he is.
That will be the 12th.
So, roll back to train. The pick of mousesports.
Yeah.
Feels like it was a whole decade ago at this point.
And the story there is oh so different to the story now.
Yeah, they got absolutely wrecked. It was like 16-5 or something. On their pick, they just didn't get going at all. They had a technical issue to kick things off. It was a disaster. It was 16-5. With that 13-2 start from G2, they looked so strong. They seemed like they weren't missing a single shot. That translated to Dust 2 as well. They had an 11-4 start. They looked unstoppable. The comeback came through, and we find ourselves on the third map where mousesports have the 12-7 lead. This will be gutting for G2 if they give this one up. I mean, another best of 3 happens tomorrow for them.
Interestingly enough, a T-smoke towards that gap on B. And there is plenty of CTs leaning that way. For now, bit of a battle in middle. Let's see how Jax handles this test. He's going to go for the re-smoke. That's great. Obscures the vision, slows him down.
Of the ladder and the T entrance as well. So he's got both positions, can anchor it by himself. He can wallbang that ladder room as well. Those walls are paper thin.
Ooh, they
Even
are.
with an M4, you can do considerable damage towards ladder room. There's one angled part on the corner. That's the prime position to shoot. That goes directly above the ladder, head high.
Molotov's not going to clear out toolbox, if that was its intention. But
That was saying that before. It's tricky to do. It's a run and right-click jump, but it can be done towards toolbox for sure.
3 members about to give him the fight. Second Molotov arrives. He's going to throw one of his own, looking to retreat as best he can. Anti-flash as well. He's doing well. But in the meantime, that bomb in the hands of Carrigan. These players, they're posturing as best they can. It's pulled Kenny from the site. Flashing Jackson, mid-round aggression, and it's going to cost them. G2, they're trying to find a way to get that early advantage, but it's just not being found. Instead, now mid has been conceded. Kenny, all he can hold is the boost. And now they're under their skin. They're behind their lines. Chris J can walk, and excuse me, not Chris J. I think it's Rops actually who's been left in middle. And speaking
He's
of,
doing pretty well himself, Chris J looks like.
what on earth was that?
He doesn't even use the scope on this thing. He just taps away with it. Lucky. Just cowering on the B side here, and Chris J's got his number. He completely cracked over the B side by himself. It could have fallen apart there. There was a possibility of multiple kills. Now Kenny S locked into a corner, and it will be 13-7 with $3,400 per player on the CT side. Maximum loss bonus is all they have at this point as everyone goes down.
Yeah.
It's not looking good.
Beaten on their map pick, mousesports, they had to reverse sweep to secure a spot in the Legends stage, at least here. Of course, an untarnished record so far, both teams picking up both wins. Win 3, you're in. Lose 3, you're out. It's Swiss. Oh, that is so absurd. Look
Goodbye.
at that. I love that he just catches Lucky completely off guard there. Walked his way up, then starts to accelerate. Even then, the steps aren't enough for Lucky to adjust in time.
They have to take an eco.
Oh my goodness, so 13.
That's gut-wrenching for them. What can they even do now? They've lost the first pick. They haven't really got a stack going on. Nothing really exciting me about this CZ Deagle situation. They haven't really done any smokes. It's going to have to take something quite special from Shoxy, but he's dealt with in due course. And now a 5-on-3. mousesports, if you're smart, you just hold up, wait, go in as a 5-man unit, job done.
Yeah, well, perhaps a 3-man unit will be enough to take Lucky. That's a nice angle from him. It couldn't have been better for the pistol he had. But still not enough. Carrigan finds him. Nice work from Woxic in the meantime. Just Amanek left, and actually that will be enough for him to find Rifle. Perhaps. Nope. Just Chris J's head instead. Not too shabby. Now he can get that upgrade. 2 kills, but it's no consolation when you realize that this series, this long, drawn-out, grueling Counter-Strike match where G2, they started, I mean, it was all song and dance. An incredible performance from them on the first map, but now 2 maps later, round 21 of our third, mousesports are poised to throw the blow and lock themselves in for the next stage of the major.
Amanek saves the AK, gets himself a couple of kills with the CZ. Doesn't really have that much of a knock-on effect in terms of destroying the money. We're so deep in the game now, they're 14-7 up. He saves the AK, that's great. It looks like he will be doing that. Carrigan can't check every single girder into towards the T lobby. Amanek will get himself his 3rd kill of the round and save the AK. So you can now drop an AWP at least, but their money's strong across the board. I guess Kenny could use a drop. He's got 5,800. If he wants all the bells and whistles, he might as well be dropped.
Do you own a whistle? Have you ever owned a whistle?
What, you mean like a traditional whistle?
Like a referee, you know?
I definitely have in my time.
You have?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gone into a shop and said, 1 whistle, please.
It's normally the kind of thing you get in like Christmas crackers and stuff like that.
Oh, that's fair.
And I remember having whistles a few times in my life, actually. Yeah. I can whistle very loud with my fingers as well.
But of course, we're not going to do
that right now, but maybe after the broadcast.
But like weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, it is a weird flex, but I can do that, and I know you can't, so maybe there's a problem.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize we were going to be revealing my flaws to the world.
Look, man, if I'm going to reveal anything, I think you've got it pretty lightly with the whistle.
I can whistle, I just can't do the loud, fancy finger
and that's the cool
whistle.
one everyone likes.
Yeah, that is the cool one. It's also the one that when you're at like a gig or something and that
I always do
idiot
that.
behind you.
Yeah,
wow.
that's me.
That's you?
I'm that guy.
I hate that guy.
Well,
anyway, let's see what we've got.
Back to the game.
Flash, yep, Woxic, he's going to throw a second one. He wants to get Carrigan there fast. In fact, he crosses, finds the frag. It's huge. They won 15 and they won it now. Shocks in response on the AWP. They're trying to mix it up with the double AWP. We've gone from nothing to everything in the AWPing department. Now Jack's on that Snacks corner. Probably shouldn't call it that.
There's a reason. We'll explain that later.
We'll explain that one later. Still, nice work. Jax, with support of Amanek, still forging a path to keep this B site safe. However, the bomb yet to commit. In fact, in a very big way, turning tail towards A.
Well, best chance G2 have had to even win a round so far. They're currently 6-0 down in the second half, but they have a 4-on-3 advantage for now. As you mentioned, it's a double AWP setup. Not really ideal if the bomb gets planted, but Kenny S is trying to avoid that at all costs.
He's been avoiding scoping as well. He's so cognizant that there's coming in his direction. The sound cue's not enough. Carrigan times him perfectly, and now... Oh my goodness. How does Amanek not hit that? Carrigan.
I don't know.
That is a huge pickup. 2 versus 2 now. Bomb going in courtesy of the Turkish player. Frozen's going to play that close wall. That's going to make it so hard for Jax. He's already found 2 in this round. Shocks, he can't do anything on the AWP retake.
Oh, Jax with no utility, a bomb to defuse and 2 players to find. It sounds almost impossible at this stage. They've got a Molotov for the bomb as well. Frozen can deploy that in the next 10 seconds or so, just to really confirm things here. And they spotted the player, and Frozen finishes things off in real nice fashion there. They won't recover the AWP. They don't want on the T side. Might be a sign of things to come on this map in future. I don't really see it as a viable map to AWP on the T side, to be honest. CT for sure.
Yeah.
T side, it just seems like it's too fast-paced. It's too reliant on mid-round calls and pouncing on opportunities that the AWP, I don't think, is viable on the T side.
The amount of movement you can see a T side do in one round.
It's all about, if you get a pick, that's you're making quick calls that just pounce and get in there together. You don't really want to rely on an AWP. They can't really do much at all. So 15-7. mousesports look to be
Legend stage point, Henry.
That's insane. After the first map, I couldn't have believed you if they told you were getting here.
So I wondered how that smoke was coming to be. That's Chris J. He throws that smoke himself and then plays just the angle above it. It does obscure his body, and I guess it's kind of just levels the playing field of that exchange. It's an interesting one, and something I should probably talk about when this round concludes, because right now, aggressive take towards middle. Shock's taking the lead. And you said it's made of paper.
That was the one I was talking about. That wall in particular, that's the one you can spam the best.
Interesting. And now Rops does come out of his hidey hole, but he's met by bullets. A hail of lead from Jax and his AUG. Oh, Carrigan. Grey screen. Now forced to watch as 3 members of his squad look to make it 2. Look to find a way in. Quick flick, nice.
Not sure what Shock's even up to there.
I guess looking for the information,
you've got a
right?
5-on-2. You don't need information. Play the bomb sites. You've just risked this now. You've isolated your player Lucky. If he goes down now, he's got a CZ only, which is likely to happen. That's a chance now.
Oh, and Kenny, he's nearly got caught off guard. He's going to dive for the smoke. It's going to be enough of a guys to keep him alive. Jax shows up just in the nick of time. Bomb's now loose. This round can stabilize. I say that, but Frozen, he's still hitting every shot he takes. Kenny, a summer attack would be attributed to him, but now another body drops. Frozen looking to clutch to take his team to the next stage of the major.
Oh, a bit of style as he makes his way towards CT spawn. I'm sorry, this all stemmed from that Shock's push. Didn't have to happen at all.
A crazy flick nonetheless from Chris J to get them in. It was now, excuse me, it was Frozen. He started with that shot onto Shock's aggression, and now he's looking to clutch versus Amanek. Amanek picks up the kit. That's a start.
Right, what's happening here?
I got you, bro. I can work off this.
You can do this one then. This confuses me when this comes up.
I can use it. I've got quick eyes, I promise. Amanek from the elevator side. Frozen, he's going to have the perfect angle. It's all about timing here. And actually, Amanek has the gap. He's going to be pushing Crane. They're going to meet right here, right now. Frozen's done it. Clutches, and they're off to the legend stage. mousesports in the face of so much resilience from G2, certainly on Train. Dust 2 the second, and it's Vertigo where it reaches its conclusion.
Oh, what a great game. We said the mousesports game against Avangar and Inferno was the game in the tournament so far. That series had absolutely everything. What a narrative. It began with the Train affair. It looked like mousesports weren't even going to turn up to this very big game. The 2-0, a chance to have some days off.